Hello everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Full Force. This is a very special episode this week because it's our 50th. So I want to go over the top 50 Magic the Gathering jokes I've heard. Number 1, how do werewolves on Innistrad like their eggs? Sunny side up! Because when they're humans, there's the little... So number 2, I have...
Shh! What are you doing? It's better this way.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Full Force, number 50. It just happens to be my birthday week too, sweet. We've got a blue-white Embalm deck stipulation this time, so we're going to be trying to do Embalm and Eternalize as much as possible. Something like Countervailing Winds might work with that, just because we do want cards in our graveyard. I feel like Sunset Pyramid is decent. I've always liked Sunset Pyramid well enough. Stripped Riverwinders... not amazing, it's a little slow. Does cycle. Oketra's Avenger has been very good for me. So I might just want to take that. I think out of all of them, it's the Oketra's Avenger. Really tempted by the Sunset Pyramid, though. We're trying to get as many, like, blue-white flyers as possible. Probably be a little bit aggressive. I'll take the Avenger. We want to try and beat them down in the air as quickly as possible. And Avenger will beat them down early, and then we can finish off in the air. We've got a Desert of the True, some good black cards, Lethal Sting and Banewhip Punisher, which is, oof, it's a card. Proven Combatant is a thing, does Embalm or Eternalize. So I could try and take that. I'm almost positive that it wheels, though. And I really do like having a couple deserts. Would I care... like, in this deck, will it matter? It'll matter if we get a Solitary Camel. There's not a lot else in blue-white, really. Sheffet Dunes is amazing. If I can get, like, a Sheffet Dunes, obviously, then Desert of the True goes way up. But the odds of getting a Sheffet Dunes is not particularly high, because the card's great and people will take it. Not to mention that it's an uncommon. I am going to take the Proven Combatant, because, hey... we're supposed to do Embalm and Eternalize. I should probably be doing Embalm and Eternalize and just take the cards when I see them. Wow, we've got a great pack here. Ominous Sphinx is fantastic. Supreme Will is good. Dauntless Haven's pretty solid. Another Proven Combatant. Wall of Forgotten Pharaohs. Just a bunch of good things here. We're going to jam this Ominous Sphinx, though. Listen, Proven Combatant eternalizes, but Ominous Sphinx just kills them. This card is so good. We've got a Dagger of the Worthy, Desert of the Mindful, and a Countervailing Winds. Don't really want Mummy Paramount or a Striped Riverwinder. I guess Mummy Paramount can be decent in this kind of deck because we're going to get a lot of zombies. A lot of them from Eternalize and Embalm, and then also things like Spellweaver Eternal and stuff like that are also in blue, so we can have a fair number of zombies here. That being said, I still think I just like the Desert of the Mindful. Well, or do I? I'm kind of convincing myself that Mummy Paramount might be really good. I've convinced myself. Oh, the Sheffet Dunes! That's exactly the card that I wanted if I was taking those deserts. I could have jammed a bunch of deserts and taken the Sheffet Dunes. There's also a Dunes of the Dead. There's been a couple Dunes of the Dead going around. I'm going to take the Sheffet Dunes here and then hope that we can get more. Aerial Guide is obviously quite good, like, very good, but this is an uncommon... it's just great in a lot of different decks. I mean, it's just great in general. This card's fantastic. There's things like Dunes of the Dead that have been going around. We might get one of them. And there's been a couple deserts in our colors that we might wheel, so I'm just going to slam it right now. Now we have a Desert of the True versus Aerial Guide, Solitary Camel. I know that I did just get a Sheffet Dunes, so I might want a Desert of the True, but I think that I'm going to take the Aerial Guide. There's enough deserts going around that I think that I can get a couple, and I don't need to go super crazy on them, and Aerial Guide's just a good card. Just been very impressed with it. There's a Scavenger Grounds, which is a desert. Also a Proven Combatant for Embalm. I'm going to take the Proven Combatant. Supposed to take the Proven Combatant. Ooh, here we go. Embalm and Eternalize. Well, that is a lot of Eternalize. We get to basically give Eternalize to a bunch of different cards for 2 mana plus 3 colorless for each card that we're picking. pretty solid. If you can get it for 7, it's fantastic. Dunes of the Dead. Yep. I mean, Countervailing Winds or Striped Riverwinder seems fine, but Dunes of the Dead Sheffet Dunes is just too much fun. A really powerful effect. Just getting that in your lands is insane. Striped Riverwinder, I suppose. We can cycle that. Survivor's Encampment for the Dunes. There's also the Disposal Mummy if we want to have a zombie for Mummy Paramount, but it's not a good card. I'm not particularly excited about Disposal Mummy by any means. Renunciation, Dagger of the Worthy. I actually have liked Dagger of the Worthy. I don't think the card's incredible, but I've been pretty impressed with it, and we're going to try and get a bunch of flyers, so Dagger of the Worthy seems decent in our deck. Another Dunes of the Dead. Sweet. Well, we have 4 deserts, and 2 of them are Dunes of the Dead to work with our Sheffet Dunes, which I'm pretty happy about. I almost wish we were in green so that we could play them out of the graveyard somehow. Ooh, that's cool. That would be very cool. However, Bird has the last word, and I'm going to take it. We've got Steadfast Sentinel that we might wheel. Mummy Paramount would be okay. Aerial Guide's good. There's a ton of great cards here, but yeah, definitely last word. Another Deadlands? Wow, I could almost splash for this. Like, I could go 3 color. Really tempted. The card is absolutely insane, and we've got double Dunes of the Dead to go with it. Oh. The problem is this, I mean, Ominous Sphinx is still very good, and it's in our colors, so I should just take that. Maybe get the Desert of the Mindful. We didn't wheel them last time, though. And there's even better deserts going around now. Act of Heroism. Lots of decent black cards. We've got a Solitary Camel, Wall. I'm going to take the Revolt, or whatever, this thing, the Ipnu. It's essentially an island. We might have to lose a little bit of life for it, but it's an island and a desert. It doesn't come into play tapped, which is pretty key. I'd rather lose the life, generally, than have it come into play tapped. Countervailing Winds, Dauntless Aven, Mummy Paramount, Juror with Eyes Open, which has been an awful card, unfortunately. Solitary Camel is possible. Right now for zombies, I really only have Mummy Paramount, and I would count like 1 of these. So I might want Dauntless Haven instead, just to have another flyer over this Mummy Paramount. I'm going to do that. Ooh, Aerial Guide. Sweet. Now that I like. We're getting a lot of flyers, which is kind of the plan of this deck, I think. We just want to be a blue-white flyer deck and get a bunch of value off of Embalm and Eternalize. The best way to get value off of them, almost in my mind, is to get the Aven Wind Guide from Amonkhet. Then we can be blue-white flyers and Embalm. We haven't seen any of the Vizier that we can pick them out of our library, though, which is pretty unfortunate. That 2/4 for 4 is pretty key in this part of the draft. And not getting any is a pretty big damper on it. Makes a huge difference when you can just search up things like, well, like I just said, the even Wind Guide from Amonkhet. We've got an Hour of Revelation, which is very solid, and a Steadfast Sentinel for more Eternalize. Hour of Revelation is really interesting. People generally don't expect it. Not sure that I want a lot of Wraths in this format, though. I don't think that we're a deck that even really wants a Wrath. We're pretty aggressive. We're just trying to win in the air. We've got a couple Aerial Guides, the Oketra's Avenger, and we've got Captain's Last Word to kind of just keep pressure up. I'm going to take the Steadfast Sentinel. I know that might seem a little crazy, but I actually think it's correct. Mummy Paramount versus Aerial Guide. Have everything in our deck have fly, and let's just grab the Aerial Guide again. Mummy Paramount. Man, there's been some really good deserts going around this whole draft. I'm going to take the Mummy. And Steadfast. Sure. Could take a Desert of the Glorified just to have deserts, but I mean, I have 5, and Dunes of the Dead is basically an upgraded Desert of the Glorified for us. This would be played as a tap colorless mana for us, and we wouldn't be able to cycle it ever. It'd just be there as a desert. I mean, Dunes of the Dead does that much, much better. Solitary Camel. We've got a ton of deserts, and flying it over seems real good. Take a second one for sure. Hey, Jeru came in. Let's slam that. Maybe we'll actually get a Planeswalker and feel good about ourselves. Probably not, but you never know. Every once in a while, I've gotten a Planeswalker, so I mean, maybe we'll have the luck of the gods on our side and jam one here. So the card that I really need to see is Aven Wind Guide. Vizier of Many Faces would be good, but really, if we're going to have more Embalm and Eternalize cards, I just want the Wind Guide. It's just too crazy. Just thinking about like an Hour of Eternity for like 7 or 9 with an Aven Wind Guide in play. Yeah, I'll get 12 Flying Vigilant Power, please. We have Zenith Seeker, which I'm not excited about. Man, I'm not excited about anything in this pack, actually. There's a ton of cards that are great for other colors, but nothing that's good for us. There's Cursed Minotaur in black, Scaled Behemoth, and Heaven to Earth for green-red. Naga Vitalist as well for that deck. I mean, for us, I guess Heckma Sentinels? Ugh. Not at all what we want. I could take like a Ronus's Monument to be aggressive still, give it to our flyers. Not excited about that. It might be better. It might be better than anything else here. Because, man, there is not a lot else here. Jeru's Resolve can be a decent combat trick, I suppose. Man, this whole pack is just so awful. I'm actually going to take the Resolve. It's a decent enough trick. It works with the Ominous Sphinx. I think I like it. Now we have another very good green card, Crocodile of the Crossing. Sunscorched Desert to work with our desert plan, but we really do have enough deserts, and especially colorless ones. And Fanbearer is good. Fanbearer is great, even. Vizier of Remedies, Compulsory Rest, and nothing else. Well, pretty easily Compulsory Rest here. Magma Spray going for that red player. Whoever's in red's got to be decently happy about this pack so far. Same with green. Red and green have just been really good, as it turns out so far. Heckma Sentinels, Winged Shepherd, Seeker. Seeker of Insight's kind of nice. Get extra value off of the Embalm Eternalize mechanics. Wouldn't mind one. I actually kind of like Seeker. It works really well with the Ominous Sphinx, too. Alright, I'm going to take this Seeker here. I kind of like it. It's certainly not amazing, but I don't have anything amazing to pick up. Supply Caravan's not good. Cartouche could be good. Everything in our deck already has flying, though. Gale Strike is fine. If we are trying to race them in the air, Gale Strike could be really good. Returning something like a Rampaging Hippo or other big creatures like that seems like a good idea. I'm not going to be able to fight them on the ground, but we can just fly over and win in the air, and this will help us do that. I think I like the Gale Strike. Spring to Mind, a really late Crocodile at the Crossing, and Hooded Brawler. Slitherblade? Honed Kopesh? Yikes. I guess Kopesh? Our deck was not open at all. We never really saw the cards that we needed. That is the danger of full forcing, though. When you try and draft a specific archetype, sometimes it's just not there. I don't even think that somebody else has the archetype. I just don't think that any of the cards were opened. I don't think, like, even Wind Guide was opened, or the, that 2/4 that searches up Embalm and Eternalize. I just don't think any of them were there. We didn't get any of the lords for it either, like no Temet or anything like that. Which is kind of unfortunate. It's okay, we'll manage to use it to some advantage anyways, because we have things like the Seeker to pitch them. They're just decent cards anyways. Like, Steadfast Sentinel's not amazing, but it's fine. Being able to get 2 creatures out of a card is always pretty powerful. We've got the Hour of Eternity, which is pretty sweet. It's a late game card, a very late game card, but it's a good finisher when you can get there. Take a Crop Mate. And what will we cut for the Crop Mate? Resolve? I'm not really happy with Resolve. It's okay, but certainly not amazing. This deck does have a lot of flying, which is a really solid plus side for it. Seeker, Sparring Mummy, whatever. And wow. Double Soul Stinger and Wasteland Scorpion all wheeled. That's kind of crazy. I mean, Soul Stinger I think has gone down a little bit in value from when black-green counters just had a ton of synergy. But it's certainly not bad. I've always liked Soul Stinger a fair bit. Alright. What else can we get here? Another Cartouche of Knowledge would be nice. There was one coming around. And what am I cutting for the Cartouche? Probably Dagger the Worthy, honestly. I think the Cartouche is just a better Dagger a lot of the time. Drawing the card's pretty key. Plus, giving flying to something like Steadfast Sentinel or even Oketra's Avenger is really nice. You can really mise a game out with like a turn 2 Oketra's Avenger, turn 3 Cartouche of Knowledge onto it. Or same thing with Solitary Camel. I mean, 4/3 Flyer with Lifelink is really good. Really good in this format. None of these cards matter. I really don't need Heckma Sentinels. Well, I mean, I don't need Cascading Cataracts either. Taking it just because it's a rare, but so what? It's not worth anything, and I've probably got about 10 of them. I can't imagine that I don't have some already. Alright, well, it looks like we have a deck. This is exactly 23 cards, so really we just need to figure out what our lands are going to be. I don't want to play like a Jeru or with Jeru's Resolve or anything like that. We've already made our cuts. I don't think I want to change it. And I'm thinking that we want to go like 1 extra planes over the islands. Maybe 2, because we do have the Sheffet Dunes. The double Dunes of the Dead is a little bit tough. Because we do have some double white and some double blue. We've got double Ominous Sphinx, Kefnitz, and of course the Sheffet Dunes that we've got to be using. Actually, you know what? We should go for a dead even split. 3 blue on Hour of Eternity is part of the problem. Yeah, it wants us to have more islands than planes just simply because of the double and triple cost later on in the game. Hour of Eternity, though, should generally be a card that we're going to be playing on 7. If you have to play it on 5, it's okay. But 7 is kind of the ideal. I think I'm going to go 6/6. So that really gives us 8 sources each with the Survivor's Encampment. That's not that bad. I'm running 17 lands, which is a little bit land heavy for a deck like this, but we do have the Embalm cards too, like the Eternalizes. So we do have some late game sinks. We also have the Seeker of Insight to draw us more cards, and like we can discard some islands at that point or whatever, some extra lands. Hour of Eternity as well as just a mana sink later in the game. Alright, I mean this is not an amazing deck, but it's got a bunch of things that fly, and that can just get us there. So I'm going to save it, send it, and we'll see how we do.